Alberstone Cup Series, and today I'll be discussing the current playoff format and what we could do to fix it or make it better. So first of all, let's talk about the current format. So here it is. So you get playoff points rewarded to go to your championship, and then throughout the playoffs you race, and then there's an elimination race every 3 races. And then the homestead is winner go home. Like whoever's the best finish out of the 4 drivers wins. And let me tell you some statistics. So in 2014, Kevin Harvick had 5 wins, 14 top 5s. His average finish was 12.5, which was not quite the best. In 2015, we had the Kyle Busch scenario. He only raced 25 out of 36 races, but he still ended up winning the championship. He had 5 wins in total. He had 12 top 5s, and his average finish was 10.8. But remember, he did not race 11 races of the season. Jimmie Johnson, in 2016, he had 5 wins, 11 top 5s, and his average finish was 14th. But here's a really interesting statistic. He won his races at the beginning and the end of the season. He was winless in the middle of the season for 24 races. That's right, 24 races. In 2017, Martin Truex Jr. had 8 wins, 19 top 5s, an average finish of 9.4, and he's the most deserving champion so far. And also remember, from 2014 to 2016, there was literally no bonus points. So that really affected how things played out. And then in 2018, Logano had 3 wins, 13 top 5s, an average finish of 10.7, and 2 wins in the playoffs he had. And alright, here's the thing. We have lots of undeserving champions. Logano and Jimmie Johnson. But which one is more undeserving? Everybody's complaining, why does Logano have to win the championship? It's so unfair. He didn't deserve it. But did he? I mean, Jimmie, in my opinion at least, deserved it less than Joey Logano. Even though Jimmie won more races, he was just not consistent. Logano, on the other hand, was very consistent. Now let me show you how. So, like I said before, his average finish was 10.7. If it weren't for the playoffs and we went off the Winston points, he would have came in 3rd. Or 4th, I forget. But one of those 2 in the standings. Johnson would have been around like 9th or 10th or something like that. I haven't checked into that, sorry. But still, Joey had 3 wins, but 2 of them came in the playoffs. And yes, I know that Johnson got 3 wins in the playoffs. But the average finish, 10.7. And then Jimmie was winless in the middle of the season for 24 races. But it's not like he was close to winning in those 24 races. No, he wasn't. His average finish in the season was 14th. So if you take away those wins, his average finish around them was probably 16th, like in the late spring, summer, and then early fall time. Like, you just can't do that and then win the championship. Honestly, I think the 2016 champion should have been someone like Carl Edwards, Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, not Jimmie Johnson. But in 2015, is Kyle Busch a deserving champion? His average finish was 10.8. He had 5 wins and 12 top 5s. But just remember that Jimmie had 11 top 5s in less races. And he almost had the most top 5s. Well, Martin Truex Jr. obviously is an outlier, but Kyle Busch deserved the championship more than Jimmy Johnson. But here's a funny thing. In 2015, Logano actually deserved the championship, but then everything went wrong for him once he's got in a rivalry with Kenseth. 2018, Kyle Busch deserved the championship, but it went to Logano, so it sort of balances out, surprisingly. Alright, and here are my ideas. Oh wait, one more thing. For why has this format been put into place? Because of Jimmy's dominance during 2006 to 2010. And then also the 2017 and 18 format is better than the 2014 to 16 because of playoff points. And also, here is something that could happen in this format which would be terrible. You could literally win 35 races and not win a championship, while the driver who wins the championship doesn't even win one race. Yes, it could happen. You could win all 35 races, finish third at Homestead. The winning driver could finish second and not win a championship. Like in 2014, Newman almost won the championship. He finished second just on consistency. He never even won a race. And I think that there should be like a rule put into place or something that you would have to win a race to be able to win a championship. Alright, now we go on to what I think should be put into place. So first of all, you know how the playoffs only really matter, especially at Homestead? My idea is that drivers get eliminated every 9 races. That's right, every 9 races. That way, like, every race matters. So, after 9 races, it goes down to 30, 18 to 20, 27 to 10. And then they either would have like a 10-race sprint to see who wins the championship. And also, this includes playoff points. Or, it would go down to 5 cars after 5 races, and then it would be like a 5-race sprint with playoff points to determine the championship. That's just my idea. But the reason why, well, I said it before, so every race matters. Like, you could literally sit around, like, if your favorite driver is Kyle Busch, I know he's making the playoffs, so I'll only tune in then. Hibernates February through August, wakes up September, just watches the playoffs. That's only what really matters. Or they could just watch Homestead, because they're that confident that he will make the championship, which he has 4 out of the 5 years. So that's why that format should be put into place. The second format, alright, this may sound strange and stupid, but you know how they have the regular season champion? What they should do, instead of that, they should have a Winston champion, like someone who would win on the Winston format, and then the playoff champion. So, for instance, in 2015, Kyle Busch would be the playoff champion, and Kevin Harvick would be the Winston champion, because Kevin Harvick was the best throughout the season, so he also deserves to be the championship. But Kyle Busch would be the playoff champion, because he did the best during the playoffs. I mean, that's just my suggestion. I mean, I know it has its flaws, but I mean, it really rewards the drivers who did good all season long. To the drivers who just showed up for the playoffs, like Jimmy Johnson in 2016 too. I mean, Logano was actually there all season because he was like in the top 4 in points. My third idea is that 35 races to determine everything. Who makes the final 4? I mean the final 2. My bad. And then the top 2 drivers battle it out. So in 2018, this year, would have been Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick battling it out for the championship, and then Kevin Harvick would have got it done. This way, the top 2 drivers who are the best get to the race for a championship against each other. Not 4, but 2. Sort of like any other sport. Like, because they both had 8 wins, and then Joey Logano only had 3 and Martin had 4, so usually the top 2 have more wins than the 2 that are a bit worse than them but still make the championship 4? Yeah. And then number 4, playoff system we have now, except we have a 10-race sprint. So this is different from the 2004 to 2013 format because there'd be playoff points included. And also, I would have stages be worth 2 playoff points because 1, it doesn't really sound enough. Like if you look at the races this way, so about half of it is stage 3, the other, well, a bit less than half is stage 3, and then the other 2 stages are more than half. So I think it'd be fair, like in total, be 4 playoff points to be earned in the first stages and 5 in the last because wins matter more than stages. At one point, in my opinion, just isn't enough. And then, yeah, but we have that playoff system from 2004 to 2013 with only, wasn't it 12 drivers or was it 10? I forget. Yeah, I'll go check that later. But this is where consistency would be worth because throughout the whole season, okay, let's take a look at this. Austin Dillon wins the 2018 Daytona 500 by dumping Eric Almirola. He makes the playoffs. Wins shouldn't guarantee you in. In my opinion, 2 wins would have to guarantee you into the playoffs in this system. For the system I'm talking about now with the 10-race sprints. But here is it. We're never going to have a perfect playoff system. No matter what you do, people will be upset and there will be haters. So what NASCAR needs to do is just try to please most people as possible. No sport will ever be perfect. Like with football, with the catch rule. And yeah, you get what I'm saying. No sport will ever be perfect. You have to try to fit how the fans like it. Try to make it in the middle of the Winston era, the 2004 through 2013 era, and this new playoff era. Yeah. So that's my video. I hope you enjoyed it. I put a lot of work and effort into it. What do you think the playoff format should be? Do you think it should be one of the ideas I suggested, the one that we have right now, or another idea that you could place in the comment section below? I'll see you later.